Hello, my impatience. It is I, Andrew the Android Koloski here. I am live and I'm ready to perform for all of you. Hi, how art thou? What's poppin', my amigos and amigas? What's poppin'? So, I hope you guys will come, join, and engage with me. And fire away your questions. Fire away your questions. Okay, I'm going to start off here by sharing artwork that I created yesterday. Pizza Pasta says, "What's going on, big dog? Oh, oh, oh! How was my weekend? My weekend was good. You know, but I'll share with you this one. This is a rendition of the Face Man Child, a self portrait I did. Obviously, it's a blue background with scribbles all around it. I think it came out pretty cool, in my opinion. What are your thoughts on this one, my amigos and amigas? Yay or nay? I guess it's good. And the next one, it's called My Schizoaffective Brain. This is like my brain here. It's colorful and psychedelic. It says, I'm a vegetable mind. I'm artistic. And I'm creative. So this is like my brain here. So some people are asking about my lady friend. Yeah, she's just a friend at the moment. We're not dating yet. It may turn into that. We're getting closer and closer by the day, and she's expressed interest in potentially dating. So yeah, we aren't officially dating though. Yeah, I'm single. As of this moment, I'm single. Um, somebody says your lady friend's a nice upgrade. Oh no, yeah, definitely. But we're just friends as of this moment. We're not dating. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's no. We're just just friends who are creating content together. But like I said, we're getting closer by the day, and everything's okay. Oh, it snowed in New York today, which is pretty interesting. This is what do my fingers smell like? What do you mean, Rusty? I think they smell like popcorn. I just had some buttery, wise yellow popcorn. I guess, uh, if not like nothing. If you're trying to imply I was doing something nefarious and sketchy, I was not. I was not doing anything nefarious and sketchy. I was just shoveling popcorn into my mouth while listening to music. Popcorn is delicious for sure. Yeah, it's the first snow of this season, I think. Um, yeah, I drove to the gym in it. I took a walk in it. Now I'm just hanging out and staying warm here. Um, so yesterday, I criticized my mother's cooking, and I didn't think the criticism of my mother's cooking was a big deal, but my mother seemed to find it was a big deal. I thought it was just understood that my mother's cooking's not so good, but my mother didn't really like it. Yeah, I mean, I guess realize my mother cooks as a favor for me, and if I don't like her cooking, go get groceries and cook for myself. That's just something to keep in mind. Um, you know, I Yeah, my mother was not happy about the critique of her cooking by me. But yeah, I think everything's okay. I said, yeah, yeah. I said to my mom, look, there's no issues, there's no problems. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Frankly, I found the fish a little gross. But there's no issues. You know what I mean? So he says you should try cooking for yourself. I probably should. If I really have that much criticism with my mom's cooking, I mean, ultimately what I should do is go to the supermarket, get the groceries myself, and learn to cook for myself. Somebody says, go kick down your mother's door and say, damn it, mom, cook with love, cook with affection, cook with care. Really make your dinners delicious. I was sharing, did anybody ever see the Luther Reigns from the WWE Thanksgiving promo? I know Rusty may have seen it, but if you haven't, like, I don't know. I don't know, but never mind. Never mind. This wasn't. I don't think I would deliver this, but basically the gist of it is, I feel like I'm eating the same cancer causing trash over and over again, while my friends, family, and everybody is eating luxurious and delicious foods. I feel like I'm eating psychiatric hospital food or prison food. I feel like I'm eating, food that people in third world countries, wouldn't even like, but, you know, I'm not eating like the luxurious millionaires or billionaires foods, basically. But they say if you want to change that, make some money and buy natural ingredients and get a master chef if you can afford it, or cook for yourself. Ultimately it's your fault. You got to be able to afford the delicious millionaires foods. So mhm. You gotta if you want a master chef to cook for you exciting meals every night, well, make money and buy a master chef who cooks for you every night. You can't say, mom, damn it, cook with more love and more affection and more, you know. Somebody says, what is the fanciest restaurant you've been to? So in 2019, 2020, and 2021, when I had the friends in New York City, I went to some pretty fancy Italian, French. I went to some pretty fancy restaurants in New York City, and I was eating pretty well at that time. At least when I was going out to these nice restaurants. But in recent years, I would say Japanese seafood buffets or Rodizio restaurants around here. I don't eat out at a really luxurious and fancy restaurant too often. But I would say the fanciest restaurants I've eaten at were when I was going to New York City with friends. Uh, you know, Jungle Lady says, "Why would your father say you are the narcissistic rage baiter or the masturbator? Why would your father say that?" I don't know. I think he was trying to either make me laugh or get me to react. One of the two. Maybe he was trying to lighten up the mood of the conversation that was accusatory. I don't really know. Oh, I went to a Korean barbecue place too, Pizza Pasta, in I think it was 2019 or 2020. It was pretty good. I remember being sick that day though. When I went to the Korean barbecue, like there's a lot of, or was it the endless? I forget if it was like endless meats or something like that. But I had some pretty good food, in New York City. In fact, I missed the delicious food in New York City. I wish I could go back in there and eat at these delicious restaurants again. Yeah, I know Korean barbecue is pretty good. We had some meats, we had some Italian food, we had some French food, we had basically you name it, we pretty much ate there. It was really 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 good food. I certainly missed that. I missed the yummy eating. Uh, Pizza Pasta says everything is bootleg in New York. I found New York City food to be pretty good, especially if you go to good restaurants, which we were going to. Um, you know, Jolly Jolly says, Andrew, I don't have any nefarious plans. All right, cool. Maybe I should ask my friend. I mean, just because I don't really communicate with a lot of the New York City friends anymore. Maybe I could ask my friend, that I'm meeting on Long Island, New York, if she wants to go into the city, or even try to find a nice restaurant here locally, and maybe we could eat well together, eat delicious together. I really want a nice, yummy, delicious meal. I'm hungry for some nice food. Some Russ says get tangerine beef. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Somebody asks, where are your art class friends today? Well, I mean, I think today it snowed in Long Island, New York, so the roads are kind of chaotic and the weather's kind of nasty. So we're all kind of relaxing at home, and I'm spending a lot of time. I mean, I know when you spend too much time with somebody, familiarity breeds contempt, and people can get on your nerves to an extent. Not to say, including me, believe it or not, I can get on people's nerves. I know somebody says, that's not true, Andrew. You never annoy anybody. But believe it or not, even I can get on people's nerves. So, yeah, you got to give, take a day off every now and then, too. Somebody asks, have you ever gone to Smoke and Owls in Massapequa? I heard good things about that. Maybe I should go. I know where it is. Maybe I'll take my friend to it. That's a good idea. Somebody says it's good. Okay, yeah, I'll ask my friend. Next time she comes over, if she wants to go over to Smoke and Owls. Thanks for the suggestion. They say Smoke and Owls is great. Yeah, it's a great idea, guys. They say no problem, no problem. Somebody says you should live stream at Smoke and Owls. Somebody says get her a lot of margaritas. That's a good idea, but yeah. I mean, it's a good idea. It's a good idea. La 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 la. All right. I actually successfully napped for an hour today. I fell asleep and successfully got some rest for an hour, which is pretty good. I usually lie in bed and don't actually successfully fall asleep, but today I dozed off, so that's good. I'm recharged. I'm ready to go. Anonymous says there's a Persian restaurant in East Meadow that's really good. It's called Sophia's Grill. Okay, I'll check that out too, Anonymous. I always wait for people to suggest delicious restaurants. Actually, my friend suggested this salad restaurant, which was pretty good. I think it was called Just Salad in East Meadow, and it was really good. We had it. In fact, I'd be willing to go there again. It seemed healthy. Yeah, it was pretty yummy, pretty yummy. So yeah, take the initiative and let's have some good. I gotta have some good food again. What salad did I get? I had some. There was a tofu in it. It was like a Japanese salad. I'm not really sure, but it was good. It was whatever I got. It was good. It was pretty delicious, and I guess healthy. I mean, I'm assuming it was healthy. I mean, I think it was the greens, like the Japanese greens and tofu, or I mean, if that's a salad there, it was something like that. Mm. So it was this, what made it Japanese? I guess the dressing and the weird like little like Japanese, yeah, I think it was a Japanese salad. Somebody says, "What made it Japanese?" I think I don't know why I think there was a Japanese theme to my salad, but I think there may have been. Somebody asks, "Did your grandfather fight in World War II?" He may have. I think he did. He definitely fought in a war. He definitely was in the military. Um, I think he may have. I think he may have. Somebody anonymous says, "How about Anthony's coal fire in Massapequa?" That's a good idea too. Yeah, yeah. Start throwing out some ideas, and I'll start eating well and taking my friend to these delicious restaurants, and stop and Do, 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 do. So, my inpatients. Let It Be says, what place does Let It Be like? He says, I like. There's a pretty good Italian restaurant. I forget what it's called. It's next to Burger King in Seaford. Yeah, I went there. I think I went there with Mark, Jana, and I went there with another friend many years ago. It's pretty good. Um, you know, I mean, you don't have to go to New York City to eat delicious. Somebody asks, is Mark still behind the refrigerator? I don't know what that means. Nobody's behind the refrigerator. Somebody asks, what medications are you on these days? Um, I'm just on Abilify 10 milligrams. Um, that's about it. Why do you think I'm doing better or worse? Um, I mean, I'm willing to share the medications I'm on. Just Abilify 10 milligrams, um, which is obviously a significant reduction from what I was on many years ago. Uh, TV says you seem pretty stable at the moment. Okay, thank you. I'm glad you consider me to be mentally stable at the moment. Mental stability is a good thing. Mental stability is surely a good thing. Jungle Lady asks, do you scare your friends when you accuse them of tampering with your phones or computers? Yeah, no, I guess, Jungle Lady is referring to the video where, I went to the restroom and I left my computer unlocked and my phone on the table. And I guess, my friend could have, snooped through my computer or phone while I was in there. I often get paranoid, but, obviously try to trust my friend. Uh, you know, you got to realize, there's nothing to hide, you got to trust people and be honest and transparent. Like I also said in the video, there's people who, you know, snoop through medicine cabinets like my mother. She says when she goes over people's houses, sometimes she goes into people's bathrooms and looks to see what they have in there. I think a lot of people do that. And even online, if you like somebody, maybe even like them romantically, you're going to go on their social media profiles and snoop around. I mean, it's kind of common, but also you got to trust people and respect people's boundaries and give them privacy and give them space. Somebody says, yeah, some people would never do that. They don't seem like that type. Jungle Lady says your friend looks scared of you in the videos. Oh, and friend looks scared of Andrew in video. I don't know. I hope my friend isn't scared of me. I'm not trying to be intimidating. Um, I can't mentalize what's in her mind, but I mean, if you think I don't, I'm not trying to be intimidating. I'm trying to be friendly. I'm trying to be friendly and a buddy to my friends. Warm and affectionate to my friends. I'm trying to have a genuine friend. I'm really appreciative of the friendship. So I hope my friend isn't scared of me. Let it be says Jungle Lady. She does not look scared. Anonymous says no way. I guess it's open to interpretation. I'm not trying to be scary or intimidating. Actually, the opposite is true. I'm trying to be warm and loving. Um, so I mean, I'm not. Somebody says your friend Mark. I don't think Mark is scared either. You know. Somebody says you guys actually seem to get along really well. Yeah, I think we have pretty good chemistry. I mean, on camera, and she's got a bubbly and fun personality, which is cool. I mean, we're getting along and we're buddies. It's fun. We're having fun together. And that's all you can ask for, really. Fun, friendship, and that kind of thing. Jolly Jolly says you're very domineering a lot. Toxic masculinity. I guess people have narratives and opinions and things they want to project onto me, or maybe they're right. I don't know. Maybe some of the narratives are right. They're certainly not psychiatrists who can diagnose me. I'm trying to be friendly and warm and affectionate, and I'm trying to be a good friend. I'm not always perfect. Sometimes I feel like I'm annoying and I'm a vegetable mind and I'm irritating to be around, but maybe I'm not. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a lot of fun to be around. Who knows? Somebody says, your friend is very cute and funny. Somebody says, you seem like a nice guy, Andrew. Thank you. I really pride myself on being a nice guy. I try to be a gentleman. I try to, be respectful, hold the door, you know, you know, give them rides, make women feel comfortable, and even men. I guess Alan would be somebody I try to make feel comfortable, even though, frankly, I'm not interested in him romantically. So I try to be a gentleman. Somebody says there are some weirdos in the chat, but you do seem very nice. Yeah, I try to be. I try to be a nice guy. And obviously, I got mental health issues. Obviously, I'm a little bit of a vegetable mind, and I'm schizoaffective. But I try to be. I try to be nice, kind, and a gentleman, basically. Mm-hmm. TB says, "When was the last time you sang one of your original songs?" It's been some time. Jolly Jolly says, "Obviously, Andrew, you've been hardened and you're afraid to let the heart out of like the armor that but you got to try to let love into your life and try to let that soft heart out because that's a beautiful thing. It's kind of like the song "I Am a Rock" by Simon and Garfunkel. A rock can feel no pain, an island never cries. I have no need of friendship. Friendship causes pain. It's laughter and it's loving I disdain. To quote Paul Simon. You know. Somebody says we need the 12 Days of Christmas. Somebody says the song "I Am a Rock" by Simon and Garfunkel sounds pretty emo. I guess, but it's kind of my situation, right? Isolation, but obviously let the let the warmth out and love and trust people and show people the wonderful person that I am. Somebody says, "Did you?" Yeah, my new friend does not have a doggy, but she loves our doggies. She loves Emma and Maya. You know. Anonymous says, Andrew, you're more normal than some of the weirdos in this chat. Yeah, I guess so. Thank you. I often look at myself critically, but maybe I'm more normal than I give myself credit for. Thank you, guys. Somebody says, is it possible that you will do a duet song with, your new friend or Mark? Yeah, I could ask my friend next time she comes over, which is probably going to be soon, I'm assuming, if she wants to do a song with me. Maybe we kind of sang the Doug theme in one of the videos. It was a little cringe, but frankly, a lot of our videos are cringe. I'll just say, but by the time she's done with me, I'll get her desensitized to cringe. I'll make her just completely desensitized to cringe, and she'll be singing the Doug theme and obnoxious songs just like me. Somebody says anybody who's an animal lover is a good sign. Yeah, that's a good sign. I agree. I'll get her to make a complete fool and buffoon and laughing stock of herself, and she'll be singing like apples and bananas obnoxiously by the time she's done. Grapes and strawberries. Somebody says, believe it or not, that song's a real earworm and gets stuck in people's heads. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna get that song stuck in everybody's heads someday. The fruits of your body. The fruits of your. Oh, I was just sitting on my leg for 15 minutes, and I got up and it was really asleep, and I got pins and needles in my leg now, so it's kind of discomforting. So he says, "What's wrong with Rusty?" I think he doesn't seem to like me as much as he once did. Maybe it's Bizarro Rusty. Maybe he's going through a rough time, or maybe it's maybe it's somebody posing as Rusty, or maybe he's grown tired of me. But yeah, he seems to have turned professional wrestling heel on me in some ways. So he says maybe he's like broken rusty trombone. Delete. Yeah, he kicked me in the groin, hit me with a steel chair. He says, "Ooh, yes, delete." I don't know. So he says something is wrong with Rusty. Yeah, maybe he's going through a difficult time. It's okay, or maybe I did something to him. I don't know, but I don't take it personally. Somebody says, speaking of John Cena or wrestling, speaking of wrestling, what are your thoughts on John Cena's last match? Obviously, people are upset that he lost to Gunther. People wanted to see him go out on a high note. Anybody who defeated John Cena was going to get shit for that. Who could they have had beat John Cena, and people would have been like, "Oh, this is a great thing." I realized they wanted to pass the torch and build a new star, but who really, was going to be respected going over Cena? You know, name anybody really. I mean, they should have just had him go out with a victory, but you know, they wanted to pass the torch and give Gunther the accolade and build his resume, and that's just what they wanted to do. But yeah, people weren't happy with it. Somebody says you don't create content with your mother, mama, or your father, poppy, anymore. To be honest with you, I don't see my father all that often anymore, and my mother doesn't want to create content with me. I still do artwork with my mother. Yeah, I know. Some people say those are some of the best content on your channel. Yeah, hopefully, maybe I can convince my father to do more with me or my mother to do more with me. But frankly, I think those days may be history. But I got my new art class buddy who seems eager and willing, and some people say we've got good on-screen chemistry together, and she's the new mama. Well, I don't want to call her mama, but she's the new poppy, you know. So my mother would always say in the Burst My Bubble videos anyway, you need to meet friends about your age and participate with people who are interested in art. And that's what I'm doing now. So while it was fun, the interactions with my mother and father, it's more appropriate to be interacting with people about your age anyway, you know? Yeah, so I mean, like my mother would always say, "You have making videos at home with your elderly mother and never leaving your home." I mean, yeah, it was fun to play with my mother and father, but realistically, I should have been interacting with people about my age instead, and performing on camera with people about my age instead. And now I'm doing that, and that's a good thing. TB says, obviously the best video you ever did was with your mom where you accused her of not letting you have a homosexual experience. And they say your mother, Christine, should understand that many artists are homosexuals. So she should be careful what she wishes for. Uh, okay. I think I'm into ladies. I think I'm into sexy ladies, petite, sexy ladies in their 20s and 30s. But, you know, I don't think, but okay, fair enough. Jungle Lady says, does your new friend know about the Grinder conversations you've had? I don't think I'm interacting with men on Grinder. I mean, if you have, evidence of chats with men, I mean, I'm not saying, didn't happen. I was pretty sick for a while. Maybe I went on there, but I'm into ladies. Horn Dog says, Dale, your stepfather reminds me of Gunther, and you remind me of John Cena. I think that's a fair comparison. I think I give off John Cena, goody two shoes, Charlie Brown, Captain America energy. So that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad comparison. And he was a good talker. He was the face of WWE, so I'll take that as a compliment. Somebody says, we got Hess Practice, whoever that may be. He says, Hola, Andrew, how art thou? I'm doing good, Hess. I'm doing good. So he says, I'm glad we don't hear about the HIV scare anymore. I'm trying to let it go and just convince myself that everybody's being honest and transparent with me. I'm trying to put it behind me once and for all. It's coming up on 6 years and 5 days. It's time to just let it go. Horn Dog says about Gunther. Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily dislike Gunther, but He's certainly. I mean, and I realize. I mean, he's certainly a new talent. Cena's got his entire career in the bag, and everybody knows the legendary career he's had. He's had one of the the best careers in WWE history, right? So, um, Gunther is this talent that's got a lot of accolades. He's the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion. Um, he's done a lot of they're giving him a lot of accomplishments, and one of the newer accolades they put to his resume was defeating John Cena in his last match. Some people say he was undeserving of it, and people were complaining, but I mean, they could have had Cena been victorious, but they had to give it to somebody, and they chose Gunther, which means they view him as the future of the WWE, basically. I mean, what I mean, like, there's really no other way to look at it, you know. Okay. So they're passing the torch, like Andre the Giant did to Hulk Hogan and many others. What are you talking about, Jungle? What you talking about, Jungle Lady? Somebody says you remind me of Andre the Giant a little bit, Andrew. Okay. Oh, somebody says I said wrestling is fake, and yeah, I mean, if you don't like it, that's fine. I know some people say they don't. Some people don't like it. I mean, I was into it more when I was younger, but I mean, some people like the wrestling discussions, other people don't. Um, it can obviously divide the audience. I was a fan for many years, so I'm familiar with the wrestlers and the characters. Some people don't like the conversation and want me to, get back to the fruits of my body. So, uh, you know, TV asks, "What do you think your stepfather's finishing move would be?" Well, that's a good question. Hmm. Maybe the rear naked choke. Jungle Lady doesn't seem to be liking the wrestling chats. All right, we'll change the topic. Throw out a new topic. We'll get off the topic of pro wrestling. Throw out a new topic, and we'll discuss that. Yeah, he gets on. A Horde Dog wants to know if my new friend is going to be a girlfriend. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm single. I think she's single. We it could potentially go that way. I guess we'll see. But we're just friends at the moment. All right. Somebody says they want a song for me. You want me to try my new song, which I don't really have memorized, but the losing sports team, the New York shit. You want me to try that one, guys? You want me to try a rendition of that? Yay or nay? I could try to rehearse this off the top of my head. Okay. I'm like a losing sports team, a sports team that's like shit. I'm like a losing sports team, a sports team that's like shit. The New York shit. The New York shit. We play in New York, and our jersey, it's brown, the color of feces, the color of poop, and how appropriate. Our team is trash. Our team is garbage. Our team is the New York shit. The New York shit. I'm like a losing sports team. You know, we're like a laughing stock to everyone in the league. We basically lose every game. You know, we're atrocious. My father says, I don't even know why I'm a fan of this team. They're always losing. I'm optimistic someday they'll come back with determination and be victorious and win the championship. But it's probably never going to happen in my lifetime. It will probably never happen in your lifetime, and it will probably never happen again. For the past 50 years, this team has been terrible. I'm like a losing sports team, a sports team that's like shit. Our jerseys are brown, the color of feces. They say just sell the team. Sell it to Kansas City, sell it to Boston, sell it to California. Get it. I realize New York's a big market, but this is a terrible team with a losing track record. You know, we're awful. We're atrocious. Well, the New York shit. The New York shit. You know, we might as well, I'm like a losing sports team. That's feces. That's fecal matter. My father says, I'm about to just give up hope. Sell this team. Get him out of New York. We're a laughing stock to everyone in the league. Everybody knows how pathetic we are. We're one big joke. Throw this team in the toilet and go flush. Flush this team down the toilet. Sell them to Kansas City. The New York shit. The New York shit. Somebody says, Andrew, this song isn't very chipper. Yeah, I think it's inspired by the New York Jets in football. It's inspired by the New York Mets in baseball and the New York Islanders in hockey. The New York shit. It's inspired by these atrocious B sports teams. TB says, I rate it 8 out of 8. Thank you, TB. Thank you. Ask and you shall receive. I gave you a performance today. Somebody wants. I could try to do the video about murdering Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer for the holiday season. You want me to do that one? I'm trying to memorize some of my new songs. I know everybody likes the classics, but I'm like Radiohead. Everybody wants like Creep and Karma Police, but I'm trying to do my new songs today. So I can memorize them. They're like, we want Creep and Karma Police. I'm like, no, I want to do my new album. I'm just going to play my new album for you at this concert. Somebody says, play Freebird, Andrew. Play Freebird. The joke about saying play Freebird is that song is very complicated. And without practice and preparation, it's impossible to play. Because it's like 8 minutes and it's really complicated. You really got to practice it and be prepared to play it. You can't just spontaneously play Freebird. So he says, play the new songs only, just to spite us. Yeah, what's one of my... somebody says, I hate Freebird. It's overplayed. What's another one of my new songs? I don't know. If I were a psychopath, does that mean I'm unworthy of love, unworthy of care? Does that mean no one should be there? Friends and family gossip about me behind my back. They say I lack empathy. I'm a monster. They create erroneous narratives about me that I'm a psychopath. But they just say that so they can justify bullying me. They just say that so they can be cruel to me. But, show me warmth, show me affection. If I were a psychopath, which I'm not, but if I were a psychopath, does that mean I'm unworthy of love, unworthy of care? Does that mean no one should be there? And I'm not a psychopath. My diagnosis is schizoaffective. They say I have empathy, and we've cited countless examples of it in therapy. But, they'd like to say I'm a psychopath so they can justify bullying me. But let's say, hypothetically speaking, I were. Let's say I was a psychopath. Does that mean nobody should love me? I should have no friends. I should be alone, deprived of interpersonal relationships forever and ever. If I were a psychopath, if I were a psychopath, if I were a psychopath, if I were a psychopath. Does that mean I'm unworthy of love, unworthy of care? Does that mean no one should be there? Try to show people warmth, affection, love psychopaths, love monsters. Show people, comfort and affection and warmth. TB says, this one's a little bit more chipper. We got 11 inpatients in the house, which is a pretty big number. Yeah, that's a pretty big number. That's a pretty big number, TB. TB says, the love of a psychopath is really good. Yeah, I mean, obviously, the psychopath diagnosis is pretty bad, typically they're dangerous people to be around, but, even psychopaths are worthy of love, I guess. If they're your family member, I guess love them, Don't just say, oh, my family member's a psychopath. We should isolate them and try to kill them, All right. Any more of my recent requests? I'm doing my new songs here. I don't know. Yeah, I'm looking back at my song gallery. I create like these improv songs off the top of my head that I got to really memorize because some of them are bangers, but I don't have them memorized. I obviously I got the fruits in my body memorized, and I'm a white guy memorized. I don't know. The receptors. Okay. The receptors in my brain. The receptors in my brain. The psychopharmacologist says we need to lobotomize the B12 receptor, the F5 receptor, the C4 receptor, because they're responsible for delusions and psychosis. They're responsible for mental illness. So we're going to give you a mega regimen of psychiatric medication to turn off the receptors in your brain. The receptors in your brain. I say to him, this sounds like bullshit. This sounds like nonsense. It sounds like you're talking out your ass and you're just spewing, stuff that's just factually inaccurate, But my mother and father say you need to take the medication and turn off the receptors in your brain. The receptors in your brain. My psychopharmacologist says it's true. The medications cause delusions. I don't know this one well enough. All I know is he says, I have receptors in my brain that cause psychosis. and we need to medicate you and turn off the receptors. Somebody says your songs are all the same. Well, I mean, they're more performance art than songs. Come here, doggy. Cute little doggy. Give me kisses. Give me affection. Come here, doggy. I'm calling you. Come here, doggy. Start giving me little licks. And I'm going to give you little meat snacks. Give me kisses. Give me a warmth. I'm going to pet you, you little doggy. Come here, doggy. You're a cute little doggy. And I'm going to give you warmth and affection and little cuddles, you little doggy. Yeah, I get little meat treats. Yeah, and the dogs like get on their hind legs and beg for the meat treats. Beg for your little meat snacks, doggy. Beg for your little meat snacks. I'm going to give you a little meat snack. And the dog gets on our hind legs and starts begging, and I tossed a little meat snack to the doggy. Little doggy. Okay, picture stagnation. Okay, how does picture stagnation go? Let's try this one. Picture stag. Okay, I'm trying to get the hang of this one. Some people say heaven exists. Some people say hell exists. But I'm here to tell you that's not so. The only thing that exists is picture stagnation. If you've ever taken a photograph or a video of yourself, even one singular photograph or video, when you die, you're not going to heaven. You're not going to hell. You're going to be forever trapped in the photograph you're taking. You're going to picture stagnation, frozen in time, forever trapped in a photograph. Somebody says, what type of dated mentality is this? It sounds like something that in the early 1900s, when photographs were first invented, somebody at that time would fear. It's not a rational fear that people in 2025 think, everybody's making hundreds, if not thousands, of pictures and videos of themselves on social media. Picture stagnation is real. You should not take pictures and videos of yourself, because if you do, you're not going to heaven. You're not going to hell. You're not even going to purgatory. You're going to forever be trapped in the photographs you're taking. You're going to picture stagnation, frozen in time. All right, that was another one of my new songs. Like, play Creep, play Radio, Karma Police. No, damn it, I'm playing my new songs. Somebody says, I was like you. I was like yo, and he was like yo, and she was like yo, and we were like yo, 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 yo. I'm ripping off some guy from Good Burger, I think. I go up to my friends. I go up to my family and I say obnoxiously, I was like, yo, and he was like, yo, and she was like, yo, and we were all like, yo, 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 yo. And I asked them, what were they like? What were they like? And they scream at me. They were like, yo, Andrew. They were like, yo. And I said, that's right. They were like, yo. I was like, yo, and he was like, yo, and she was like, yo, and we were all like, yo, 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 yo. All right. So he says, make this one longer. Don't shorten it. Somebody says, this is one of my favorites from the new album, the Yo song. Somebody says, "Are you sure you're from Long Island?" I'm certainly from Long Island, New York. I'm certainly not. All right. All right, guys. I think I did 55 minutes. I think I'm gonna, get out of here. I'm gonna hit the road. And thanks for watching. I'm appreciative of you watching me. It was a pretty good live stream. I had some tea. I was pretty chipper and energized. So I hope you enjoyed this live stream. TV says 55 minutes. Somebody says end with a classic. I'm a white guy. Somebody wants a classic. Let's see if I can find. I gotta end with an upbeat song. I'm not gonna go with a classic. Bum 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 bum. There's someone from your old hometown who is still trying to be a rapper. His life is in the crapper. At 40 years old, this person is still trying to become rich and famous. He doesn't have a job. He's dependent on his parents. He thinks he's an excellent rapper, but it's quite obvious to everyone that this guy is not that talented. There is someone from your old hometown who is still trying to be a rapper. His life is in the crapper. He promotes himself on social media to friends and family, telling everyone, send my music to everyone. Listen to my music. This should be all over hit radio. I should go to #1 on the Billboard charts. There's somebody from your old hometown who is trying to be a rapper, but he's getting older and older. His life is passing him by, and they're discovering new talent in their early 20s. And this guy's about to be 40 really soon. I don't know. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna hit the bricks here. I think I'm gonna peace out. And I'm going to, get going here. Thanks for watching. It was a fun live stream. We had everybody, rocking and rolling in here. And adios, amigos. I was pretty chipper today. So that is what it is.